grab a beer, and pull up a chair. Welcome to the NorthwoodsBeerGuy podcast. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the NorthwoodsBeerGuy podcast. This is Mike, the NorthwoodsBeerGuy. And once again this week, I'm joined by my brother Brian.
Hi.
And Larry.
Hello.
And Dad is up at the bar doing something, ordering something or something. So he'll be back in just a second. But we are now in Blue Earth, Minnesota, and we're at Lost Saint Brewing.
Yep.
Now, you said they're a newer brewery, right?
Yeah, they opened last summer.
Okay. So they're pretty, I mean, the building it's a cool building. I don't know if it was something before, if they built it.
It's actually the back half of a furniture store.
Really?
Yes.
It doesn't smell like furniture or nothing. That's kind of weird. Huh. But yeah, you can see, I do enjoy that you can see the brewing stuff there. They must have somewhere where it's more temperature controlled for the actual process, don't they?
They have glycol lines running into all the fermenters.
Gotcha. So. Okay. That makes sense. So, well, hey, I know it was a long ride, kind of about 40 miles over here. So the first beer we have is their Prere P-R-E-R-E Pils, German-style Pilsner featuring Saz and Hallertau hops, 4.7%, 20 IBUs. And when you look at it, it looks like what you'd expect for a Pilsner. You know, really clean. I guess we'll take a taste. Yeah, it's not. It's pretty much for like what I would say a German Pilsner should taste like. You know, it's a little different than when you have like your big beer Pilsners, you know what I mean? But when it's a German Pilsner, it definitely tastes very similar to this, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good example of that. What did you think of it?
I thought it was good. Like I said, it was clean. There wasn't any bad aftertaste or nothing. I enjoyed it.
Larry?
I think it'd be like a good summertime beer. Nice hot day, which we have going on today.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I mean, for a score, what are you thinking on score?
I would give it probably say a 2.5.
Okay.
It's a good beer. It's a Pilsner. There's just not a lot going on.
Yep.
That's what I would say. 2.5 also.
Yeah, I was figuring that as well.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I thought it's for a German Pilsner, it's good, but like you said, there's not a huge amount of flavor in a Pilsner typically. But it would be a lawnmower beer for sure, where you could, like you said, on a hot day after you get done mowing, have a couple of them and you'd be fine.
It's very crushable.
See, there he goes with those technical words.
Yeah.
Him and that crushable stuff. So each of their flights has 5 different beers on it. The first flight, the first 4 are lighter.
Yeah.
And then we got a darker one. And then on mine, it's kind of the other way. I got 4 dark beers and 1 lighter beer.
Yeah, the first ones we're doing are their year-round.
Okay.
They're standard beers that they have on.
Okay, and then the other ones are
are
seasonal? Or
yes.
what? Okay.
Yes.
Nice. All right, so what's the second
So
one?
the next one is the Wendell's Belgian Witbier.
Okay.
A Belgian citrusy wheat beer that gets its orange notes from the yeast and pairing of Mandarina, Bavaria, and cool mellow hops.
Okay, what's the
It's
ABVs?
5.6% and 10 IBUs.
So it stepped up a little bit in the ABV. You get that faint wheat type flavor.
Yep.
You know, it's definitely not over the top, where some of them are, a stronger wheat flavor. I know that's like with some people I know that when they don't like wheat beers, it's that stronger flavor, where this one is pretty mellow.
Yeah.
I'm kind of impressed here. Yeah, I think for a wit beer, this is pretty decent. You know, like I said, sometimes you get them that are very strong wheat flavor, but this is not that. And 5.6%, it drank really well.
Oh, yeah.
I felt that it actually had just a little bit better flavor than the first one had.
Oh yeah, I would agree 100% on that. Like I said, a lot of your Pilsners don't have much of a flavor. This one had flavor, and it was, like I said, the first thing that I thought was you get the wheat flavor, but it was very mellow. It wasn't like I don't know if you want to call it a sharp type flavor, a really strong flavor, but it was good. I liked it.
It definitely has that the Belgian beer aftertaste that we were talking about earlier.
So in that, would they be using a Belgian yeast then, or no?
No, it's
Is it more just from the wheat?
no. It comes from the yeast. It's I guess I don't know what strain of yeast he was using, but like your Hefeweizens and all them use the same kind of yeast as the Belgians do.
Okay. Yeah, for a score, what are you thinking on that one?
I think I want to like a 2.6 on this one. It's a little better than Pilsner.
Okay.
It's still a very drinkable beer. It's,
You know,
Yeah, I'd go probably 2.5. I mean, it's in that lighter beer.
right.
You know, you're not looking for a lot of flavor, or I shouldn't say that, but
Right. I know what you're.
yeah, you know what I'm getting at,
Yep.
like really sharp difference in flavors. Or,
Yep. Brian?
Yeah, I was thinking about 2.5 also. It is very good. It's just nothing really jumped out at me.
Right. I was thinking a 2.6, like what you said, just because it had a little bit more flavor.
yeah.
I think either one of those you could drink.
Oh,
no
yes.
problem. Anybody that hasn't tried those styles, they could drink them. And, I could see a non-craft beer drinker with that Pilsner feeling that it's a stronger flavor than their normal Pilsners. But again, it's like beer's supposed to have flavor.
Right.
you know? And that's always been kind of the running joke for us anyway, is like, who knew beer was supposed to have flavor, Awesome. Well, what do we got for the third one?
So the next one is the Vene Pale Ale, American Pale Ale with West Coast hop aggressiveness, featuring Amarillo and Simcoe hops, 5.5%, 38 IBUs.
So 38 IBU. So you would think it wouldn't be very hoppy. You can smell the hops. Very clean flavor. The hops it lingers a little bit,
A little bit,
but it's not. It
it doesn't have a bite,
Right. I was gonna say there's not a bite to it at all. That's if you're especially somebody new to IPAs.
Right.
They might be still a little bit.
Yeah, because
but
you can definitely tell the hops are there,
Yep.
but it's not a like in your face type of.
right. That's the thing I was noticing too. Is that, like I said, the aftertaste it did hang on for a little while.
Burn you out.
But it's still not. It's not bad. You could definitely drink it. For a score, I'm thinking I'd go like a 2.7, 2.8. I think I do like.
Yeah, I was thinking 2.7.
Yeah, I'll go along with that. 2.7.
Even a little bit better, best one of the three we've had so far. I mean, this is,
Yeah, like I said, the flavor it's good. It does, like I said, the hops do linger just a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's not that scratching your tongue kind of
Right.
thing. So it's it's pretty decent. I like it.
Okay, so next one is the Cupola IPA,
Okay.
West Coast IPA featuring Galaxy, Mosaic, and Citra hops, light body, dry finish,
Okay.
6%, 53 IBUs.
Oh, so this on paper should be hoppier.
Right.
That's got a different flavor.
Yeah,
I get way less hop flavor out of that one than I do the first one.
right.
Than you? Isn't that? See, that's what drives Jim nuts. Is you would think the first one would have been a lesser hop flavor than this one, but it's the other way around. Because this
Right.
one has 53 IBUs and the other one was 30.
Yeah, and it sure doesn't taste like
No,
it has.
like I said, this
53.
one it tastes like I don't even get a hop.
Get a very, very faint flavor of it.
Yeah, that's what just is kind of different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like I don't.
This would be another good one for somebody just starting out drinking craft beer.
Oh yeah,
If they want to try an IPA.
yeah. Because like I said, that this one would be less offensive, I think, to a new person than the other one.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
That's why IBUs is just I don't understand it. You know what I mean? How one can be this, and like I said, substantially higher, and it's way less flavor of,
Yep.
of the hops. So what would you give this one?
I would probably do, not bad, but I was surprised that it didn't have, as like I said, more of a hop kick than the other one. I'm thinking probably a 2.6.
Okay.
so I was going to give it as a 2.6. Yeah.
2.5 for me.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm gonna go with 2.5 as well. Like I said, it's not offensive at all,
Right.
but it's just I don't know. It was just a little different.
When you hear 53
Yeah, you're thinking
IBUs, you're expecting a little more.
just a little bit more of a hop to it, and it's good.
Oh yeah.
I am not
very,
denying
very
that.
drinkable.
Oh yeah,
beer.
all of these so far have been very drinkable. So it'll be interesting to see once we get into some of these darker beers, what the difference is between them, because it seems like these first ones. Their beer's been very clean, very
Very drinkable.
very drinkable. Yeah, for sure. Crushable, as Brian would say. I know I'm not a brewer. Can I use that technical term or?
We'll let you use it now for today.
Okay, good. All right, so the last one on your flight.
The last one is Perkins Palace Oatmeal Stout on Nitro.
Ooh.
This creamy dark beer gets enhanced creaminess from the nitrogen pouring techniques, featuring English malts. 6%, 32 IBU.
Okay. And it's an English stout, you said?
It's an oatmeal stout.
Oatmeal stout.
It uses English malts.
Okay. Oh, you can tell it's on Nitro. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one. That has got very smooth, very not a quote unquote burnt taste to it at all.
No, very good.
Very smooth. You kind of
Slight roastiness to
yes.
it.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's not really like a chocolate flavor, but it's the roasted.
Yep.
But it's very smooth. That Nitro really mellows that out.
I don't think I've ever had a beer on Nitro that has not been good.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always a bunch of them that it's like, oh, I wish they put this on Nitro to see what it did, you know? Yeah, that is really good. Boy, their first 5 have been, well, this one on Nitro here, what are you thinking for a score?
I'm going to do probably, I like that beer. I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
I was gonna say a 2.9. That's really good.
I go 3 easy.
Yeah, I was going to say I'd go 3 as well. I think out of the first flight, that was the best one by far. And yeah, very good. I know when she poured it, I was looking at it, I go, is that on, what is that last one, Brian? Oh, it's on Nitro. I'm like, oh. I didn't see on their board that they had it on Nitro. Yeah. So yeah, those were good. So the building here, it's she said it's the back half of a furniture store.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh. It's a brick building. Then it definitely, well, you'll see in the pictures when we post them, but it looks like a wood, kind of like a storage, open ceiling. Yep. And then, like I said, I do really enjoy when you can see the brewing area. You know, that's always cool. You know, it kind of reminds me that part on a much, much smaller scale. The first time when we went to Central Waters. And on the other side, they had that little half wall, and then they had that was where all their tanks are. Only their tanks are way bigger. Yeah. You know? So yeah, that is something. So now you guys have been here a few different times, right?
Yeah,
several times.
So how did you first hear about them?
Well, I first heard about him because he worked, when he was trying to get the place opened up, he worked part-time at a couple of other local breweries. Oh, okay. So that's how I had heard about it, just from word of mouth. Okay. Then, you know, hey, the assistant brewer is trying to open one over in Blue Earth. And so then we just started, we found out the name of it and then just started watching his Facebook page and that for updates. And
when first time we came over here, he had 3 beers on tap. Then we waited a few weeks. He came back over. He had 5 beers on tap. And we waited for a few more weeks, or a month. Came back over and he had 12 beers on tap, and every one of them's good. So.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Like I said, they do have some guest beers. They did a couple of non-alcoholic and a few other ones, you know, that they're not doing, but you can tell that I think they had 11 today of their own, looked like. So yeah, it looks like they have quite a few different styles, you know, so the person comes over, they'd be able to pick something that should.
And he's always working on something new. Like when we'll come over, he'll always say, hey, I got this new, you know, since the last time you've been here.
Oh, sure.
And he's a real friendly guy, and he'll visit with you.
Nice. All right. Well, hey, let's, I've been looking at this one here, and it's got some more dark beers on it, so we need to...
So the first one on yours is an Imperial Belgian Dark Wit, 8.3%, 18 IBUs.
So an Imperial Belgian Dark Wit. I'm trying to think if I've ever had an Imperial Belgian Dark Wit before. What was the ABV? 8.3? Okay. Trying to decide if the regular wit or this one is... I mean, this one's good. It's still a really good beer. It's just a little different. You know, I guess I was thinking there was going to be a lot of flavor, a lot more flavor to it, but it's pretty mellow. What are you thinking on that?
I would probably give it like a 2.9.
Okay. And what were your thoughts?
It was good. Like I said, I was expecting more of like a dark fruit type flavor. Yep. But it was pretty mellow. Yep. That was still had the Belgian aftertaste. Yep. I think it was a good beer.
Yep. Dad, what did you think of it?
I was going to give it a 2.9. Very nice and smooth.
Okay.
Good flavor.
I'll go along with that. I'll do the 2.9. I like it. I think it's a good beer.
Yeah, I'm going to go like a 2.8. I was expecting to be a little bit more flavor, but it like I said, I think anybody could drink it because it definitely doesn't taste like it's 8.2%. I don't think you'd notice that it was that a higher ABV. So I think anybody could really drink it. But like I said, I just thought being this Imperial, it was going to have a stronger flavor, and it was It was a little bit mellow, but it was good. And like I said, definitely wouldn't turn anybody away on it.
The next one is a raspberry ale, 4.5% ABV and 5 IBUs.
Okay. A raspberry ale.
Yep.
Smells raspberry.
Razzleberry.
You suppose that's why they call it
It
a
could be,
raspberry ale? I'm just asking.
Now when you put it that way, it really kind of makes sense then. I thought maybe it was like crushable. It was just a marketing thing.
It could be crushable.
Definitely raspberry.
And it's like when we talked last week when we were at 5 Alarm. When some of the companies use, especially like raspberry, it's either way too much or not enough. And this one is almost the right level.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, because remember when I mentioned the Dragon's Milk, that raspberry hibiscus or whatever it was. That was way over the top raspberry. It really just kind of turned you off. Or this one is real. This is good.
Yeah.
It was just
enough
a
citrus in
raspberry
there.
ale.
Kind of
It was just an ale. Okay.
Yep.
And what was the ABV was?
4.5.
Yeah, you could drink this.
Yeah.
This
Seems
is.
like there's just enough bite in there, not a sour, but just a little tinge there, It's
Yeah, I like that.
very good.
Right now, that's up there with me. I really like the flavor of that one.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was definitely, you could drink that outside. And,
Oh, yeah.
So.
Be a good one, ice cold on a really hot day.
Like I said, the thing that impresses me is just the level of the raspberry. They almost nailed it.
Yes.
And like I said, for whatever reason, raspberry seems to be one of those fruits that's either way too much or not enough. And it's really good. They did a good job with that one. What are your thoughts on that?
I really liked it. Mike's the owner / brewer. He definitely knows how to mix those fruit beers. He's helped me with getting my quantities adjusted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like you said, they're either too. The first one I did with actual purees, it started pouring about like a smoothie.
Oh, yeah.
At first, I had too much.
You're like, okay.
Yeah, but no, I really like it.
Well, that's a cool deal because we've come across some brewers in the past that would rather not even look at you if they knew you were another brewer.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? That's cool that you got good rapport with him and you can things that he's good at can give you tips. Things you can give him tips on stuff. And that's cool. So for a score, what would you go on that one?
I would do a 3.
Okay.
I would also do a 3. It's just
Let's do another 3.
Well, I'm going to go outside the box. I'm going like a 3.2. I think that was. I like that. Crazy. I know. It's the raspberry.
Yeah, the raspberry's speaking.
Yeah, the raspberries are talking. That was good. I really liked that. I think that was. I could drink a pint of that. Now after I drink the pint, maybe I'd be like, just tired of raspberry. I don't know, but it was good flavor on that. What is this next one?
The next one is called Number 11 Cascadian Dark IPA.
And what is the
6.1% ABV and 65 IBUs.
All right. So what are our bets for? Is it going to be hoppy or not?
the numbers. It should be.
Well, I've had it before.
Oh, so you have to.
I'm not going to say anything.
You have to, yeah. All right. We can smell hops, but it's not over the top. It's not real strong. So it's what dark IPA. So it's like a black IPA. Is it dark IPA and black IPA the same thing?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. You definitely get like the maltiness. You definitely get that malty type flavor. Oh, geez, yeah, that one didn't even come back around.
To me, I get more almost like bitterness from the roasted malts.
Yes.
Than the hops.
100%. There you go. Because I was going to say, I get that bitter.
You get a little bitter aftertaste.
Yep. But like you said, Brian, I think it's the malt. It's not really the hops.
Right.
It's a good beer. I do like the flavor of it.
Yes.
It's definitely, like I said again, that IBU number just confuses the heck out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know when it's supposed to be really hoppy or it's not. And if it's not, some of them have been really a hoppy flavor. So yeah, that's kind of wild. Yeah. So I guess what are you thinking on that one?
I like it. I would give it a 3.1.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 3 on that one, too.
3-2.
Oh, geez. See, you're,
the hops are
talking. I'm going to go with 3 as well. Like I said, I do like the flavor of it. That little bit of bitterness to it. At first I thought, well, that's weird, kind of a weird hop flavor, but it's when you had said about the malt and such, it made more sense. So at this point, Brian, I have to ask, what's it? Is it way easier to rate somebody else's beer than your own, or?
Yep.
You don't seem to be sweating as much as when you were doing it last week.
And there hasn't been any 7s or 8s or 9s like there was last week.
Oh, no, yeah. That's a little weird, isn't it? Man, your scoring is more in line with.
I'm just that good.
I forgot about that. He remember he was yelling 10 on a couple of them, and that was just kind of crazy. But he told us he was totally unbiased, so that's a good thing. All right, so we got 2 more here, and then we have 1 more there. So what is this next one?
This one is the 3 Red Flags Imperial Stout. Okay. 9.1% ABV and 60 IBUs.
So we're stepping it up a little bit here.
Yeah, getting into Jim's wheelhouse.
We're getting into the you probably shouldn't mow your yard drinking this level. Not quite there yet, but we're close. What was the IBU? 60? I don't get any hop, but the flavor is good. Mm-hmm. I do like the flavor.
That flavor
definitely has almost like a molasses type.
Yeah. And I would never have guessed it was 9.1.
No.
I mean, it drinks pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Could be one of those dangerous
one of those all of a sudden after a couple of them, you're like, oh. Yeah, that is.
Maybe we could get an Uber.
Yeah. What is there an Uber here in Blue Earth? No, that's pretty good.
Wood County Sheriff.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind that one. That one was.
It was good.
It does have a little bit of linger.
Yeah.
At the end, all of a sudden, it was like.
Like I said, that molasses flavor kind of holds on.
Yeah. Is that what you think it is the molasses?
I think so.
Is that it does?
I'm guessing that. I'm guessing he has some molasses in there to get the ABV up higher.
Yeah.
Added that in probably at the end of the boil. And
yeah, it makes sense. Like I said, it is good, but the only drawback for me would be just that linger. It's a little bit kind of a bitter to it, but yeah, I like it. Score, I think I'm going to go with 2.9 just because of the linger at the end. Other than that, if that wouldn't have been there, I'd have been a 3.2, 3.1, somewhere in there. But just that linger kind of brings it down just a little bit for me.
Yeah, I agree. 2.9.
Same. Yeah, 2.9 is right.
Well, I'm going to be different and go 3.
Oh.
Just because I can.
Just because you can. Yeah, like I said, that was it was good. Like I said, and it drank a lot smoother than a 9.1, which is funny because you think about it. My favorite story when I first started trying some of these things, my brother-in-law Ron brought a sampler from Liney's, and it had creamy dark in it. He goes, here, try this, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's strong, and what is creamy dark like? 6 or something, maybe. And now you drink it and it's like nothing,
Yeah.
But at the time it was like, oh boy, that's strong. I don't know how people can drink this,
Kind of like the time we drank Mississippi Mud.
First time.
Thought it was just awful, and then several years later had one, and it's like, that's pretty good.
It's like, huh? Oh wow, yeah, it is kind of crazy when you go back and try some beers again, just how they change.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And then there's sometimes when we're doing podcasts and such, or when we did like our beer tastings, and you score it, and I go on Untappd to see what I had before, and some of them I had the exact same score. Other ones were quite a bit different. You're like, okay, well, so it's just pretty crazy. All right, what's the last one in my flight?
This one is I'm with the Underhill's Schwarzbier.
Schwarzbier?
Schwarzbier, yeah.
All right. This is what ABV?
4.7% and 21 IBUs.
Now, remember when we were over, because the last week I was trying to remember when we were at New Glarus what that beer style was that we had at the one place that was really good, and it was Schwarzbier, but I couldn't remember. So it'll be interesting to see.
If I remember right, he released that on March 4th.
Yeah, for his Bach
for the May the Schwartz be with you.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
See, he's into Spaceballs too. May the Schwartz be with you, or Schwartz. Yeah. Spaceballs, it was Schwartz.
Yeah.
That's not bad. It's got a mellower flavor, I think, than a number of the Schwarzbiers that I've had before. And then there was that, like I said, that one that we had that was down by New Glarus that was really good. That was probably the best Schwarzbier I've ever had, was the one down there. And to this day, I couldn't tell you. I can't remember the name. Yeah, I got to look back.
Well, we hit a few breweries that day. So.
Is it the one that had the little?
It was where they had all the
Irish guy.
Yes, I think that's what it was. It was
Something angry. No,
it was one of the last ones we went.
You're thinking of the Grumpy Troll.
Oh no,
Yeah, I was thinking
I don't think it was there.
No, not that one.
No, because I was in New Glarus. I think it was when we were in Madison, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
one of the breweries there.
Yep, it was. It almost had that feel of like a little neighborhood. That they had like the tables and you could see through to where the bar was. I'll have to look. But anyway, it doesn't matter. But that was a really good one. So this one, what do you think on this one?
For score?
Yeah,
I thought the beer itself was very smooth. Like I said, it didn't have any bad flavors or nothing. It was really good beer. It almost should have had it before the Imperial Stout. Just so you didn't have that molasses flavor still. But no, I give it a 3-1.
Okay. I was going to say I'd go for 3 on that one. I like that one a little better than the Imperial.
Yeah,
I'll do a 3 on that one.
I'm going to go with 3 as well. I do think that you're right. We probably, but who knew? It probably would have scored a little better if we'd have had it before that Imperial, but I do think that it could have used a little bit more flavor. My opinion. It was still a very good beer, and like I said, I would never knock it.
Didn't have an afterbite like the Imperial did.
Yep, it did not have that lingering.
That's what I liked about it.
Yep, it didn't have that lingering bitterness at all, and I mean, it's kind of funny because you look at it, and again, these beers are all good. So when people hear the scores, I think they ranged from 2.5 in that ballpark up to 3.2. They're all still, the worst one is average. So I mean, they do a good job on them so far, and so we got one left, and that's that was the one that she hand pumped, whatever that
Sounds the beer engine.
Seven Turns Brown.
Okay.
Is the name of it. It is a brown ale. It's served on the beer engine. It's 5.2% ABV and 23 IBUs.
So it's being on the beer engine. It's not carbonated.
Okay. And so it's the whole. So anytime they have like that where they're pumping it, that's the beer engine is what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay. I always thought those beers were like cask beers.
It's
the same
considered
thing?
a cask.
Same thing?
Instead of pouring it out of the keg, you're pumping it out with that.
Okay. And I know that's like how a lot of beers over in Europe are served that way. So, and that's what Brian BK had said before. He goes, "Oh yeah, you go over there, and you can always tell the people that have worked at a bar for a long time because their one arm is bigger than the other from pumping the beer." So, all right. So this was their 7. What was it called?
7 Turns Brown.
7 Turns Brown. A little bit of a sweetness to it.
Yep.
Brown ales are one of those things that are kind of like reminiscent of a lot of red ales too, where they don't have a real distinct flavor at times. I mean, they're not offensive at all. This is not offensive at all. It's got a sweetness to it. It's good. I do like it. I'm trying to think. I still think one of the most flavorful brown ales I've ever had was one that you did when you were home brewing. When we you let it warm up just a little bit, and all these flavors like came out like crazy. And I haven't found another brown ale that's done that yet.
I don't remember which one that. I was trying to think of which one that was.
You just called it brown ale.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to remember. I mean, this was earlier on. You might have still been extract brewing.
Yeah. Okay.
When you did that one. But yeah, it's. I don't mind that. It's pretty good flavor.
Yeah. It like I said, I like it on that beer engine because it kind of reminds you almost like a nitro beer.
I was gonna say, actually, because it's not carbonated, it's real smooth.
So they don't put any CO2 in it.
Nope.
And it's just right out of the.
Natural carbonation.
So it's out of the keg.
And then so when you're pumping it, then it's mixing in. I'm not sure if it's just oxygen that it's mixing in with
so.
it.
So there is a gas that.
No, it's
Or
just when
just-
you're
just
pumping
from
it in.
the-
When it's mixing it in, it like I think it swirls
Yeah,
in the glass.
if you look at the
When
tip
it's-
I saw
on
the
that
tip was a
beer,
weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
And they'll typically put that, no pun intended, typically, but they'll put it way down in the bottom of the
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah.
And it,
I noticed that when she was doing that.
yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I don't mind that. Like, there's a sweetness to it. And that would be one of those, again, if there's a person that hasn't tried a brown ale, they could try this.
For sure.
And I do like it.
A lot of the browns that I've had, it's one way or the other. You either like it or you don't like it, you know.
Like I said, most of the time, like a brown ale that I really liked was it Rogue? They had that hazelnut brown ale where they had hazel in it. You know, that was a question I was going to ask you last week because we were talking about, brewing with peppers or pickles. So it's got to be extremely. I would think the toughest thing to brew with would be nuts.
Yeah, you have to be careful with them. I mean, a lot of the big companies in that, I think they use more of a flavoring.
Oh, really?
Flavoring in it. But if you're going to use actual nuts in it, you actually have to toast them.
Are you trying to get the oil?
Yeah, drying the oils out.
Okay, because that was a question Jim and I were talking about, because we've had, you have beers with hazelnuts and pecans and these different nuts, and some of the time, I mean, you can't taste it, and it's like, well, okay, now the pecan kringle, you can taste it there. And another one that was extremely good was there was a beer by is it Wisconsin Brewing? They had Hazel's Nut House. It was a hazelnut brown, and that you could really taste the hazelnut kind of flavor. And there's also like a pistachio cream ale I've had that's been decent. But that was always the thing. It was like, okay, I think Jim had asked, did they just throw a bunch of nuts in the ferment, or when it's boiling or what? I said, I don't know. I'll find out. So
yes, I made that one years ago on my Imperial hazelnut brown ale, and before I really knew what I was doing, and I didn't toast them again before I put them in the mash, and then we got the oils came out of it. So I said after 6 months of trying it, it was just horrible. But then after it aged for 2 years, then it was amazing.
Right. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like I said, that was one of the questions I was going to ask you though, was just, that brewing with nuts has to be, like you said, and I didn't realize they had like flavoring too, that they just...
Yeah, there are liquid
just like anything there's
you can
extra.
put in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, let's get back to this brown ale for a minute. What are you thinking on a score for that one?
I'd give it a 3. I'd do a 3-3. I really like it.
Okay.
I'd say 3-2. Good.
I'd say a 3-3.
3-3. I was gonna say I honestly think it's really good. I'm gonna go right there with you guys. I'll do a 3.3. Overall, I think flavor-wise, that might be one of the better ones. There's like that the Imperial, that Stout, not the Imperial, the
Oatmeal Stout,
Nitro. I do like that one.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if it's because of the nitro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we're all nitro fans, but that one was very good. But just on straight flavor, I do think this one is. I like it. It's got that little bit of sweetness at the end, and it's really smooth. So I think anybody could drink it and be good with it. All right. Well, so I guess Brian, what do you think? What was your favorite in? Again, like we've done before, which one would you recommend if somebody's never had a craft beer before?
If someone came in here, I'd say that had never had one before, I would probably recommend the Wendell's Wit to begin with. My favorite is the Oatmeal Stout. But yeah, I would definitely recommend the Wendell's Wit first, and then they could branch out from there.
Yep, Dad?
Yeah, Wendell's Wit is right up there towards the top. But sometimes you like a little bit of bite, raspberry, you could maybe drink one of them. It just depends.
Again, I typically tell people just starting out in craft beer, I'd probably have them go to one of the lighter beers that we had to start with, just as far as, they're not going to get a big hop weight and be turned off to craft beer. But my favorite also is the Oatmeal on Nitro, because anything on Nitro is hard to beat.
Yeah. For me, I think the one you would have thought maybe you would have recommended like the Pilsner. I don't know if I would, just because it's a German Pilsner, which I like. It has a different flavor than like your mass-produced Pilsners that people would normally have.
I just wouldn't throw somebody into a big IPA away.
No.
Where it's got a lot of hot bite to it.
And I do agree with, I think one of the first ones I'd say is try the raspberry one. Because honestly, who's going to get offended by it? That one was good. The Wit was good. Like I said, a number of these were very good. It's just varying degrees of, are they going to be adventurous? And some people aren't, especially their first time.
Right.
But, I think they were all good. And my favorites, I do like the Nitro one. And I kind of got a tie for second was the raspberry. And then the brown ale, actually, I think were kind of my favorites. And, they do a good job here. So it'll be interesting to kind of keep an eye on them and see what they come out, because you've said they kind of are continually coming out with new stuff.
Yep, he likes to brew new stuff in different styles.
See, that's the thing that I really like too, is I get like here where they have like their normal 5 that are always on tap, and then he's experimenting, and it's just one of those things that helps keep people coming back.
Yeah.
Because there's always going to be something different.
We've been to some local breweries that have the same thing. I mean, they've been in business for years, and the menu never changes.
Yep.
It's always the same.
Yeah, that's always a tough thing, because then it's like, I've had all this.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, when you go somewhere and you go, oh, they got something new, got to try it, it keeps you excited. So
Like, we'll come down and Mike will run back in the where he brews and come back with 3 little taster glasses. Hey, try this and see what you think of this.
This is still really young. You could see what you think,
So that's pretty cool right there.
That is cool. And like I said, the fact that he's helped you with some stuff, that's cool. Because like I said, again, we've met some brewers that are not that friendly, and they see you as competition and don't want to. And it's like, really? It's the community's not that big, So why not help each other be better, Because it makes your product better or his product, but then in turn, you're both making your own better to keep.
Right.
Keep going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool. You're going to say something? Okay. Well, cool, guys. Like I said, I think we need to probably go back up and get another glass of something here and, and then actually just sit down and enjoy it.
Yep.
Since it's a lot of work to do this podcasting stuff.
It's a dirty job, but someone has to do it.
A lot of stress involved.
I can tell. You're looking kind of ragged. That there's a lot of stress. Brian's nerves are shot. I can tell. So thanks so much again for agreeing to go drink another company's beers. I know you don't like it. And his scoring, again, I did notice his scoring did come way down.
He never said he doesn't like it. It's R&D.
There you go. Yes. Could we write this off?
Well, we're working on that.
Okay. He can write it off as R&D. It's a business expense for me, I think.
There you go.
Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging in there with us and listening to us talk about Lost Saint Brewing in Blue Earth, Minnesota. And if you're in this area, make sure to stop, because like I said, they've got something for pretty much everybody. And it's a cool building, and it's starting to get a little bit noisier. People are starting to show up, so we're gonna sign off. And next week we'll be doing something else. I'm not exactly sure what we'll be doing yet.
I bet it'll involve drinking beer.
It's going to involve beer. It might involve. I will tell you this: it's not going to involve trivia, because I'm sure if you've been listening, he cheats to cheat me out of winning.
I've noticed his scoring system is like on the curve.
So again, I might have to call you and say, you need to come over. We need to talk, have a conversation about these judges at Jim's house. Well, hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening once again. And like we always say, I hope your campfire is always warm and your beer is always cold. See ya. Thank you for listening to the Northwoods Beer Guy podcast. If you have a question, a comment, or a beer you'd like us to review, please feel free to send us a message at northwoodsbeerguy@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you're on Untappd, look up Northwoods Beer Guy and send a friend request. Until next week, I hope all your campfires are warm and all your beer is cold.